you know, day of the start of the Sephora holiday savings event, I went in store as soon as the sale started and I had a blast. You know, for a while, I think because of 2020, I really got used to online shopping and I was like, I'm an online shopping girl. But in the most recent of sales, it really has hit different going into Sephora in person to shop the sale. Of course, I'm sure I'm gonna find some stuff online, especially with all those online exclusives, but there's things that I find I'm interested in person that I would not have been online, which makes it that much more fun. Let's see, how much did I spend? I feel like with the discount, 20% off for me, it was a pretty good deal. I got a good number of things for $243. Like, that's not bad for all that I got, especially with the brands that I got. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. I like to try on what I can and demo for you when I do these hauls, so I am wearing everything that I purchased today. So let's get into it. So this first one has been something that I've been waiting for. It was sold out of my local Sephora, and for a while, this was a few months ago, and you guys were like, don't even worry, it's not even that good. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll take your word for it. But then I was like, but I need to test it for myself when I saw it at Sephora on Friday. I should have listened to you. Sorry for ever doubting you. But I picked up the Rose Ink Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. I became extra interested in it because I played with the Chanel, which felt really nice. I didn't purchase it from Chanel. I just didn't need another base product. So why I got this, I don't know, because I didn't need another base product. But these look so cool. Maybe not cool, but weird, because there's balls and they burst and give you pigment. Ooh, this is bad. You guys are right. It applies patchy. It looks really dry on my face. It really doesn't do my skin much favors for it being a skin serum. The way that the pigment itself goes into the bumps and crumps and holes of my face that I didn't even know existed. It's not cute, it's not flattering, it looks dry. And a serum product is supposed to bring hydration. I picked up the shade 40. I probably should have got 50, but it doesn't matter. I don't really return items that I pick up. I actually might return this because I really don't like it. What was the price of this? So with the discount, I got it for $39. I think I might just return it. $39 anyways. It is not hydrating at all. It provides a very, very light coverage, which I knew because it is just a skin enhanced luminous tinted serum, but it does not look that great. I could not wait to put concealer all over my face after applying this because I was looking like I needed a drink of water wearing this, so sorry for doubting you guys. It is not good. The Chanel one looks way better. I think in terms of application, you saw that I just put it straight on. I think it's better to blend it out, burst the balls on your hand, and then put it on your face. Either way, it doesn't look that great, so unfortunately, this was a fail for me already. I feel like it does get better from here though. So this is one of those items where when it launched, I kind of had it in the back of my head, pick this up during the Sephora sale. So I did. This is the Huda Beauty Full Filter Luminous Matte Concealer. I really like it, but I don't know if I really like it because this was so bad. I ended up using this concealer pretty much all over my face as my foundation. I really focused it on my cheek areas, the under eyes, and blended it out. But focusing it on the center of my face kind of cleared everything up, made my skin look better. I think it's quite nice. It's not the most hydrating concealer I've ever used. I'm still loving the Milk Makeup one a little bit more, but I did want to try this from Huda Beauty since I do love the line so much. I picked up the shade Vanilla Swirl, which I thought would end up being too light for me, but it actually is a pretty good color. And I don't know, it's not an amazing concealer. It has more of a matte finish, so it is a tad drying, but it isn't overly drying, and I'm interested to try it with a more moisturizing concealer. I didn't put under eye cream on prior to this as well, so we'll see. I think this has potential to still be a pretty good product. Not an all-time favorite, but I do think this is an improvement from the first formulation of this concealer that she had, and it does not remind me of the Luminous Matte Foundation, which I'm not a big fan of. There are similar properties in terms of the finish of it, the fact that it's more of a matte consistency, but I think I like this way better than the foundation version of this. I picked up another color of the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks Matte Skin Crayon, and if you saw my first Sephora haul, which I posted the day of, that one was sponsored by Sephora. This one was not. This one I just went in and purchased with my own money. I picked up this Fenty matchstick in the shade Amber, and I bought them because they reformulated and I wanted to see what the new formulation was like because I did not like the old formulation. And Amber was a little too gray. It was a true contour shade, but I wanted something that would have a little bit more warmth and depth to it. So I picked up the shade Mocha and I used it again today, and they definitely did improve the formula. It is much better now. It's much more blendable. It still is a little on the drier side, which I actually think is going to be good for oily skin. So I don't think it's bad, and it still was easy to work out. Now, today I did apply it directly to the skin and blend out, but I did play a little bit off camera. If you struggle with blending or if you have more of a dry skin type, use a damp sponge. Kind of get it on the butt end of your sponge and put it on, and that actually saves you a lot of time and blending. But yeah, I think it's a nice formula. It's not the most emollient, but I think it's going to be good for Florida weather, if you're sweaty, if you're oily. So definitely an improvement in the formula, and I like this color much better. It has more depth and more warmth, and for everyday, just kind of a one and done shade to get on the outskirts of my face, like this a lot more. This is a product that I've been eyeing for a while, and I'm excited because had I purchased online my first order, I would not have put this in. I forgot how badly I wanted to try this. Pretty much it launched and then sold out completely. This is the Armani Neo Nude Melting Color Balm. I love taking a look at all of the colors that they had available. I ended up going with number 30 Coral, I believe is the name. Now, it does not go with my makeup. I have actually a pink blush over top, but this is a very interesting product. I think the packaging is beautiful. It's very luxurious. And this is kind of like a powder balm consistency. It's not very creamy, so I wasn't sure how to apply it. It a little goes a long way with this. Like, I just got a little bit on my finger and blended it out, and it really spread out but kept the opacity. So lots of color with this. I think this is a beautiful coral shade. It looks a little deeper in the pan than it does on the cheek. I'm gonna have to play with more application methods, so if you have this, how do you like to apply it? I thought with the weird consistency, I just wasn't sure, so I used my finger, blended it out, and then used a sponge to kind of soften everything. Do you use a sponge to apply this, a regular natural hair brush to apply this? What works best? I'm going to continue playing around with it, but it is quite a unique consistency, so in terms of if you want something that's unique, this is the way to go. Like I said, it's a very balmy but still like powder-based formula, but it blends on kind of like a cream blush while still feeling powdery, but it has that really easy blend to it. Very, very interesting. I'm gonna continue playing with it, but I really do like it. I think it's an awesome product. I told you guys I was going to pick this up. I think the set was such a good deal, and it's one of the few gift sets where I did not own anything in here. So this is from Lys Beauty, the higher standard 3-piece satin matte cream blush set. Was really excited about this. I've talked about this in a number of previous Sephora videos that I've done, and you get 3 smaller sizes of the Lys cream blush formulation, which I only had one of, and I really liked it, and I wanted to get more colors, but I was holding off, and I thought this set was perfect because it's only $20 and you get 3 different shades. These are smaller than the full size, which you guys know I prefer, particularly with cream products as well, since they dry out quicker and they just don't have as long as of a lifetime. So this is perfect, one of my favorite sets. The packaging, obviously, it's not as nice as the actual individual blush, but I don't care. I like the clear top because you can see the colors. So the shades in here are Unforgettable, Grateful, and Empower. That's from lightest to darkest. And overall, this is just a really beautiful cream blush formulation. I actually demoed the formulation if you want more information on, it's called Don't Forget About These Amazing Products at Sephora, that I posted just a few days ago. Demoed these so you can see them in action. Very, very excited because I now have 3 more colors in my collection, and I do believe these are all in the permanent line. I'll double check on that. Really emollient formula, beautiful colors, becomes one with the skins. It's a little bit more on the creamy side, so if you do have more oily skin, I feel like these can get a little slippery, but overall, really great formulation and very affordable, particularly for Sephora. $20 for this kit. I got an additional 20% off of that, and you get 3 different colors. I think that's incredible. The next item that I picked up, lots of blushes here. Just love blushes so much. This one I pick up every Sephora sale, one new shade as I slowly build my collection on these. This is from Mercier, and I got the blush color infusion, this time in the shade Strawberry. So I did not have this shade yet. If you're new to my channel, this is one of my all-time favorite powder blush formulations. I just think it contains all of the components that you'd want a blush to have. It's easy to blend, it's not too pigmented, it stays a long time. It's just a solid blush formulation that comes in great colors. So this shade Strawberry is kind of a blue based, very bright pink. I think it's a pretty trendy color right now. It's a little bit deeper than the super trendy blue based bubblegum pink that's really popular, but it gives a similar effect. Now my demo is not the greatest because I did put it on top of the Armani coral blush shade, so it wasn't the greatest. We'll have to see it on its own, but as per usual, it was a stunning color. I was a little worried that it might be too pigmented and too bright, but as usual, Mercier just killed it with the formulation. It didn't give off too much color or pigment, but it gave just enough. It gave that fresh, youthful pink look to the face. So if you want that bubblegum pink, I think this is a very nice one from Mercier. And I highly recommend this item every single Sephora event because it's a solid blush formulation and I do not think you will be disappointed. I did pick up an eyeshadow palette, and it is not a new eyeshadow palette. It's actually quite old. This is from Dior Backstage, and this is the eye palette in Cool Neutrals. This is from their very first original launch of the Backstage line, and I actually do have a review of this palette from, 4 years ago on my channel. Now, this actually was my mom's the whole time. It wasn't even mine. At the time that this had launched, I did not appreciate the color story. 4 years ago was a very different time to now. A lot has changed. And I was looking at this in store and I was like, oh my gosh, this shade is so beautiful. And I'm also running on a high because I did just pick up the khaki version of this that just launched for the holidays and I was loving it. So I wanted to pick this one up because this is so me. It is a cool toned mauve kind of palette. It's very silver toned. I think it is so beautiful. And why is nobody talking about this? This color story is stunning. It's really trendy for this time of year and it was way ahead of its time, let me tell you, because I thought this color story was so bleh 4 years ago and it's just beautiful now looking at it in 2022. So I did use this today. I will say I think the quality of the newer palettes is a bit better. You can tell that this formulation is a bit outdated. The shimmers weren't really giving me the oomph factor that I wanted. The mattes were a little bit sheer, but all in all, it still is a beautiful palette. And the look that you get is a really sophisticated, hazy lilac look. I think it's stunning. It's very gray based, so it's very unique. Not a lot of brands will go towards this color story. So to get today's look, here's what I did. I started off with the primer shade and I just applied that to my eyelids as the primer. I mean, I could do without it. I prefer another powder eyeshadow, I think, but I use it for convenience since it's here. And then I took this light powder pink shade and I applied this to my crease just to work as my transition tone to make things blend a little easier. It's very light. It's lighter than my skin tone. I think it would make a very pretty all over lid shade. Then I used this shade right here, this mid-toned lilac shade in my crease. It started to deepen things up. It brought in the mauve element to this look. It was quite sheer. I wasn't in love with it, but it blended out easily. And then we went a little bit deeper with this shade right here. This was focused more so in the outer corner and then brought into the crease. It was a little bit easier to use and it did add a little bit of depth, but I wasn't quite feeling the depth yet. I didn't feel like these shades carried enough pigment that I was hoping for. So I went into this shade right here, which is the darkest grayish purple, and I applied it in the outer corner. It didn't bring the depth that I was hoping for, but it added depth, so that's fine. And then I use this middle shade right here. It's like a shimmery mauve shade, kind of more on the mid-tone side. And I applied this to the center of my lid. I think the shimmers in this particular palette will benefit from being used wet because it didn't stick to the lid that great and it looked a little bit piecey on the eyelid, but it still left that overall shimmery haze. So it still looks good, but if you want something more metallic, definitely wet the brush. And then I finished off with the lightest shimmer on the inner corner of the eyelid. Same thing with the formulation. It is a bit brighter than the other shimmery shade that we used, but using it wet would really amplify the metallicness on the eyelid. I almost forgot to finish it off. I did use this matte powder light pink. It's even lighter than that first shade that we used. And I use that to highlight the inner corner and the outer corner. And don't be afraid to use a matte highlight. It's really beautiful when you do. So overall, love the color story of this palette. I can definitely tell that the formulation is a bit outdated, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend this at full price. But it is a very, I don't want to say it's a unique color story because it clearly is not, but it's a stunning curation of colors put together. And overall with the look, even though I thought some of the formulations could be improved, I got this really sophisticated kind of Tom Ford-esque eye. It looked really effortless and chic, and I'm gonna be enjoying this because it's a gorgeous color story. Okay, the last item that I picked up, also from Dior, while I was looking at the eyeshadow palette, I picked up a new lip gloss from Dior because I love their Lip Maximizer lip glosses. So I got mine in the shade 004 Coral. This didn't quite give me the pigment that I wanted. It is a little more sheer than I thought. So I guess, you know, you don't need a lot of these. I have two other colors of this that I like, and I feel like they look different on the lips. This one is more sheer than I was expecting, but it's okay because I don't have a color quite like this. The other ones are so different from this that it's fine. But, you know, I wish I had a little bit more impact on the lip. Aside from that though, this is a great lip gloss formulation, which is why I wanted to get another color. I feel like it has a very subtle plumping element to it, but nothing that's too painful, and it really smooths over the lips, which is something that I look for in a lip gloss. So if you have like fine lines or anything, this one kind of smooths over them and makes your lips look a little bit more lip fillery. It's not too sticky, but it has some thickness, so you can feel that longevity is going to be there with this. So the formula, phenomenal on this. I just was expecting it to be a little bit more coral on the lips. I mean, I do have a lip liner on now, so I just know now not to get more colors because they probably won't contain that much pigment. But the lip gloss formulation itself, beautiful. And that is all I picked up on this trip for Sephora. I'm sure I will accumulate things as I order things. Free shipping, I mean, there's more that I want. There definitely is, but I did have a fun experience shopping in store for this sale. I mean, so many goodies. I can't wait to continue playing with these and putting these in a speed makeup reviews video. If you need the updates, they will be coming. The only thing that was a major fail was this rose ink tinted serum, but other than that, I'm very happy with everything that I picked up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you're looking for more Sephora content, I have a ton. This is my second haul. I picked up even more, so I think last Friday I posted a pretty large haul of some more makeup that I was interested in picking up. This was round 2. There might be a round 3. I don't know. Don't hold me on that. But I have a lot of recommendations videos. Stay away from these videos. A ton of Sephora content on my channel in general. It's my favorite makeup store. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. And I will catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye guys. Have a good one.